In this episode, I'm going to make a case that wearing a mask is important because it can protect you and others around you from contracting the 19. I understand there are a lot of people out there that believe that masks infringe on their rights, and in an attempt to live their best lives, they don't want to wear a mask. I'm going to give you information and tell you my position on this particular issue. By the end of it, hopefully we'll all be better off. Let's get to it. Let me start by saying that I attempt to wear a mask every time I go out and know that I'm not going to be able to social distance properly. I'm not a fan of wearing a mask. It is hot and it's scratchy and it fogs up my glasses and messes with my breathing. It's a little bit of a claustrophobic thing for me. I really don't like it, but despite that, I still try to do it every chance I can. Wearing a mask is a choice. I have heard it said that we are being forced to wear masks by the government. There is a difference between somebody forcing you to wear a mask and being asked. Now, there are businesses that are requiring you to wear one when you go in, and that's their choice to keep their employees and their customers safe. But the government is not requiring you to wear one when you go outside, so you still do have that choice. So now that we've figured out it's a choice and not infringing on your rights, let's start there. And when somebody asks you to wear a mask, it's to keep other people safe. A large segment of our population that I hear bringing up this argument are all fans of the Second Amendment. In case you don't know, the Second Amendment is the right to bear arms. Are these two the same or similar? Actually, yeah. A little bit they are. The reason you would want to own a gun is varied. You believe that the government might overstep its bounds and we need a militia, an armed militia to protect our people in case that happens. Or you might be a hunter.
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
You might be in law enforcement. You might just like guns and you like having guns at home and you like shooting them and you like using them for entertainment or sport type situations. Whatever the reason, at the end of the day, most people say that they use the guns to protect their family and their friends and their home and their property from dangerous situations.
Say hello to my little friend.
So if that's the case, then by wearing a mask, you're protecting your family from a possibly deadly disease. To understand the concept further, let's look at how the disease spreads. The 19 has been labeled by the CDC as a droplet virus. So it's spread by the mouth and nose. And obviously, if you're going to sneeze, then that's going to be a lot of projectile coming out. I'm going to do a demonstration to reinforce that. So let's take a look.
I'm sorry, man. I didn't see it.
Okay. So that's horrendous. Let's try that again with a mask on and see if we have a better result. Let's check it out. Now, hopefully, you notice that there was less of a chance of spread with the mask on. But the droplets don't spread just by sneezing. They can be put in the air from talking, yelling, singing. You can only control what you do. You can't control the actions of other people. You're protecting others from something you could have. This virus has a huge asymptomatic set of people. That means they're carrying the 19 and they're not aware of it. So wearing a mask will help you out greatly and will help out other people greatly. I've not been able to figure out why businesses haven't jumped all over the use of masks as self-promoting functions of their business. By putting on the mask, I am telling the world that I love Tesla and this particular mask I get a ton of compliments on. It has been a source of conversation, and on several occasions, it's given me a chance to talk to people about Tesla that didn't know anything about it or wouldn't have had a chance to talk about it. The next logical step for this would be in a business structure. Let's look at that. Okay, so now I'm promoting Tesla Ripple. I'm promoting my company and my brand, which is not that much different than a walking billboard for your company. So why would businesses not have their logos made and given out in an attempt to promote both brand loyalty and interest in their company? I feel like a ton of businesses are failing with this, and I hope it will change in the future. The cost of making these masks to keep your employees and customers safer while promoting your own image seems like a no-brainer to me. It's been talked about for months now that a second wave is probably coming. Scientists have made this warning over and over again.
We will have coronavirus in the fall. I am convinced of that.
And if we've learned anything from history, it's during the Spanish flu, the second wave was worse than the first one, way worse. I think it's unrealistic to think that Americans are going to lock down for a second time. And if that's the case, then the use of masks are going to be incredibly important as we move forward and get closer to this possibility. We're living in a very difficult time that has forced many Americans to the street in protest over the murder of George Floyd at the hands of a few evil men. With those protests being so large and varied, there are a ton of people that are being exposed now and will be in your community, walking around, going to the grocery store, doing their thing. I think it's valuable for them to have a mask on. In most of the protests that I've seen, a lot of people have been wearing masks, but not all of them. As you move forward in your daily life, think about who you might have talked to and you could have crossed paths with. And then the choice is up to you. You can choose to protect somebody else from you or not. I hope that I've made the case that everybody should be wearing a mask for those times when they can't properly social distance. We're in this fight together. It's not going to be won by 1 or 2 moments in time. Your lack of fear or your thought process that somebody's trying to take your rights away isn't true. It's about protecting everybody. I also believe that it's a respect issue. If you haven't been tested, and you can't say 100% that you are clean and not asymptomatic, then you're disrespecting me and raising my threat level.
Flush the bombers, get the subs in launch mode. We are at DEFCON 1.
By not wearing a mask. You're right. You have the freedom to do it. Freedom is about making choices. And for that reason, I have the choice to not be around you because that's the choice you're giving me. I believe in protecting my family. And in return, I ask for that same level of respect back because I'm protecting your family. If you're not one of the people that chooses to wear a mask, I probably am not going to hang out with you. That's my choice. Remember, as we move forward in this process, be safe, stay safe, spread love, and not hate. Cheers. I found my Ripple. Go find yours.